What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. It's a little chilly over this way. Long socks on this morning. Having some coffee and just something to think on, maybe. If you sit down somewhere, anywhere, doesn't matter, lawn chair, lazy boy, in a field, um, and we ponder our lives. Sometimes I feel like a lot of us are just frustrated. We're at that same point again. We're encountering the same garbage again. Um, it's circumstantially, it's different, but tangibly it's the same. It feels like we're living this over and over and over, and somehow we're not getting through it, or we just have bad luck, or bad karma, or whatever you want to call it. But I know we all desire purpose. We all want to know that we're here for something, even though I know I didn't used to believe that there was any point to anything, life at all. No afterlife. There was nothing, just a dark grave. I'm good with that. But we desire purpose. We desire success on some levels, but that can look different. That's a subjective topic that could look different for many different people. And so I wonder if we don't desire success as we desire significance, to know that we matter, that we make a difference, that we can impact the world, that the kinetic energy that we walk through life with, that it has the ability to move everything that we impact, every person that we touch. So we might want success, and that may just come along, but I think really at the heart of it we desire significance. And we don't understand our identity or believe that we're significant. We listen to that lie that we hear over and over in our head, that we're not good enough, or we're never going to make it, or nothing's going to change. Or I've been there for many years, so I know that whole cycle. Life seems to it's like everything moves in circles. It's an Incubus song or something like that about everything moving in circles, but it's like everything just comes around and around again, and circles become spirals when you start laying them on top of each other, and they're moving and they're growing. It starts to begin to look like a spiral rather than this constant circle. It's like we're being pummeled into submission by the washing machine. We throw some clothes in, we dump some stuff on it, and the water just goes as hard as it can and saturates every square every square inch. Every bit of these things gets saturated, and they come out in the form of the drum of the washing machine. And now they're wet, so they're somewhat softer, but at the same time they're harder for it, and they're molded. And we're letting life mold us, and we shouldn't, and we don't have to. These things are life happens. It rains on the just and the unjust, if you know what I'm saying. But we don't have to let life beat us into this sort of shape. God made us in His image, and I think Adam and Eve, if you look back, they forgot that pretty quick, because they ate that fruit thinking they would become more like God, not and that's how the devil appealed to them, was through the goodness of, will you be as smart as God? He made it not seem so bad, but they had a choice to make, and and they lost their identity. They blamed everything else, or blamed everyone else. Adam pointed at Eve, and Eve points at the snake, and they're hiding. And it's the same thing we do. We let things beat us, and we hide, and we blame, and we have the victim mentality when we should be owning the victor mentality, because we don't have to let life beat us down. It don't work like that unless you let it. But what you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven, and what you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. I had a pastor of mine that said, there's a principle of earth first in that statement. What you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. What you allow and what you don't allow on earth won't be allowed in heaven. There's a practicality behind that. Even when the flood came, it says the rains came, but before that it says the fountains of the great deep burst forth. Like, something on earth happened before something in heaven happened. That principle is there. We have to do something. We have choices to make. So we get pummeled in submission by the washing machine effect, and we do need to be washed a little bit, brainwashed. The brains need cleaned out from all the stuff that we think. You've been programmed, whether it's by school or even religion, man. It is a it can be a program, and um, frankly, it can be useless. I could get real deep into that side of it, but I won't. We need to be revived, one heart at a time. It starts with us, and as we get free, we got to come back and help get others free. Um, you ever see mountain climbers? They're usually linked up, and they're going. There's guys here, and the one who's the most experienced. There's a good chance, I would assume. I don't know. I'm not a mountain climber. That he's at the top, leading the way. And the next one's right there in tow, and the next one's right there in tow. Someone should always be ahead, someone should always be behind. So wherever you are in your walk, I think we should be discipling somebody, and that's simply mentoring somebody in the way kingdom principles work in the world. So we're not slaves to anything, or living in idolatry. Holding the dollar up higher than anything, or holding booze up higher, whatever it is. We all worship something. Where do you put your time and your money? And we'll show you what we worship. And for me, it was women and money and booze and motorcycles for a long time. So I just think we need to keep sight of that, because we can't afford to not come back down to the shore and get people. If all we do is break free a little bit, we're always breaking more free, but then we just run up the mountain and taking no one with us. You got no help along the way, but we're also, I think we should tremble at the idea of doing that. I believe the command was, go make this. It's not even a command; it's the Great Commission. Go make disciples. And you think about the word commission, with the military background, like to be commissioned, man, you're set apart. You're not enlisted. You're over here. You've been charged with certain duties that are above these, and that's our Great Commission, commissioned into this. God's army, I guess. I don't know. And that's Matthew 28:19, if you need to find that. Let's not let life beat us. It's time to dry out a little bit, get clean and dry out a little bit, and clothes come out of the dryer. They smell better, they look better, they're soft. You want to wear them and walk in the fullness of them, and not hide them or cover them up or feel ashamed. And I mean that metaphorically, like to our identities. You get purpose. There is more to life than working and dying, being a slave to a job. And what you see maybe in the religious world, it looks like confinement. I can assure you that relationship is the exact opposite. It's freedom, and it's abundance, and it's fullness, and it's possible. I think that's all I got for this morning. Finish some coffee, sit with my long socks, ponder life, meditate on the Word of God, have some fun, do something. Or you do the same, and just enjoy your weekend. Be blessed.